Our eastbound adventure retracing the old Mother Road continues. Come along as we explore the history, poignance, and fun of Route 66 in Oklahoma. After taking a detour to Texas to visit family and see the total solar eclipse, we're back in Oklahoma City, continuing our journey on Route 66.
Our first stop is the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum.
Time to Cowboy Up.
Yeehaw!
Excuse me, sir, is this the way to Prosperity Junction?
Sure is, ma'am, but you don't want to go there. It's lawless, and there's lots of shootouts.
A giant soda bottle here on the side of Route 66, so we could only be one place, Pops, where you can get gas and just about any flavor of soda you can imagine. Get a six-pack, and we'll pick 3 each.
Yeah, so I gotta figure out what's sugar-free here, and then you can pick yours.
All right, I believe that the sugar-free stuff seems to be right here.
All right.
Also in Arcadia is the Big Round Barn, which is about as descriptive a name as you'll find for anything. It was built in 1898 and has been restored. And it has free admission, so we should check it out.
We're in Luther, Oklahoma at the Threet filling station, which was one of the only places on Route 66 that African Americans could stop. It was built in 1915 by Allen Threet Sr., and he and his wife ran it. It was open until the 1970s. Eventually, they opened a cafe next door as well. It was part of the Green Book, and the Green Book was a travel guide for Black people because they couldn't stop everywhere. There are a lot of towns where it was a sundown town and they weren't allowed to stop. So this is one of the places where they were. It's on the National Historic Register of Historic Places. As a matter of fact, they played Negro League baseball games across the street. So it's an important stop for our African American history.
This is SBI Station. It's an old filling station that has been lovingly restored, including old-timey gas pumps. And now it is a motorcycle museum. Unfortunately, it's not open today, so we're not going to get to go inside, but this station is just gorgeous. The brickwork and the inlay, really cool. Like any good filling station, this place was a place you could take care of other needs, and the remnants of this old outhouse are still standing. The Old Time Rock Cafe, which played a huge role in influencing the movie Cars. And we're going to go in here and have a meal.
A must-stop in Tulsa is the Greenwood district, which was a prosperous Black community in the early 20th century, also known as Black Wall Street. Greenwood Rising is an extremely well-done museum which tells the story of the 1921 Tulsa Massacre.
This proves all that mess about being inferior and being too dense and being successful.
It corrects the record which had been intentionally misrepresented and covered up in the past.
We're a little bit late to one of the most famous attractions on Route 66, but that's okay because it's lit up. And it may even be prettier at night. It's the Katusa Whale. It was built in 1972. It's about 20 feet high and 80 feet long. It was built by a guy who wanted to build something fun for his family, and now it's a treasured landmark here in Katusa, Oklahoma. Wow, can't believe we're seeing it for real. Look at that. That's just awesome. We are at one of Oklahoma's most beloved roadside attractions, Ed Galloway's Totem Pole Park, which is an absolutely amazing place. Ed Galloway was born in 1880 and saw the world serving in the Spanish-American War, returned to Oklahoma, and his penchant for creation led him to build this very cool place. It's made of stone, mortar, and cement. And the little bars that stick out, like this one right here, was where he attached the scaffolding so he could keep building. Ed's home is here on the property, and it was built in the 1930s and then rehabilitated in the 1990s.
Did you mention that he built the home?
No, I didn't. Did he? Did you read that?
Yeah, he built this home.
This guy was a master craftsman. It's a beautiful home with all the stonework. This is Ed's studio where he created his work, and it's called the Fiddle House. Jen has been reading up, doing her research. Anything interesting to share, Jen?
So apparently he made fiddles, and he practiced his inlay techniques when he made the fiddles.
Oh, okay.
And so his former students would send him exotic woods from all over the world to make fiddles.
Ah, so he actually was a fiddle maker, not just a place where he fiddled around. That's what I thought it meant, like he was a tinkerer. All right, well, let's go inside.
The way his brain works, that top picture up there, I think I see aliens up there. Yeah.
Could be.
Yes.
That incorporated everybody.
What's your name?
Joanne Schultz.
Hi, Joanne. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
She's Jenny and I'm Craig.
All right. Put a roof on back on this and ceiling, which they haven't got it ready to take down, but anyway. Like I said, it's a work in progress. That one down there is a leprechaun drinking a beer.
Ah! And these walls here
Oh no.
look like just a
Oh, my
painting,
goodness.
but
Thank
it's
you.
actually a relief work. So everything he did was three-dimensional. A lot of fun. Say hello to downtown Chelsea, Oklahoma. We're getting close to the eastern border. Chelsea is famous for two things. The first is the Route 66 pedestrian underpass. Back in the day when Route 66 was busy, they built this tunnel to go under the highway. And here we are, standing under the middle of the Mother Road. And the second most famous site in Chelsea, Oklahoma is the Hogue House, also known as the Sears House. This house is a prefabricated house that was available in the Sears and Roebuck catalog in the early 1900s. The whole thing was all cut and you could order it in the catalog and it was delivered via railroad car and you put it together. The old Chelsea Motel. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I said before that Chelsea has two main attractions, but I probably should have said three because this bridge, the Pryor Creek Bridge, is also on that list. It was built in 1926 to carry Route 66 over this little creek here. The bridge still stands today. There's another bridge around the corner on the new alignment of Route 66, but this steel bridge is going to be celebrating its 100th birthday in a couple years and can still carry weight. Look at that. Okay, I've continued to sell Chelsea a little bit short because from this historical sign here, I learned that Gene Autry, the famous cowboy singer, movie star, and owner of the Angels, the California/Anaheim Angels, is from Chelsea. And interestingly, he was discovered here in Chelsea by none other than Will Rogers. So that's some pretty cool history as well. Nita, Oklahoma. It might not get as much attention as some of the other Route 66 towns, but in a very small place, it packs quite a wallop. We are now entering a piece of history. This is one of the oldest sections of Route 66. From 1922 until 1937, this was Route 66, and amazingly, it was only a single lane wide, so people taking the Mother Road had to watch for oncoming traffic.
Well, that wraps up our time in Oklahoma.
Yeah, this was my first time visiting the state of Oklahoma, and I liked it a lot more than I expected to. Met a lot of really nice people and saw a lot of really interesting things. There were 3 things, though, that really stood out.
One was the Greenwood Rising Museum.
Yeah, and the Oklahoma City Memorial and Museum.
And we saw those on consecutive days, which was emotionally draining, but they are both a must-see.
Yeah, anybody visiting Oklahoma should go to both of those places. And then the third was the Cowboy Western Heritage Museum. That was really interesting. A lot of great memorabilia. And
yeah, I enjoyed that one more than I thought I would.
yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Our next stop is going to be a brief visit through the state of Kansas. That'll also be a new state for me. And then on through Missouri. So hope you join us. We'll see you there.
If you enjoyed this adventure, please give it a thumbs up. And consider subscribing if you'd like to see more of our travel and wildlife videos.